Before you get on a mat, you want to ask yourself this one question. My name is JJ, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about what you should ask yourself before even stepping on any mat. If you're interested in acrobatics, this can be transferred to not only acrobatics, mind you. Not wasting any time, the one question I want you to ask yourself before getting on a mat, before you even buy the shoes, before you even look up and go down the rabbit hole of research is, do you want in? Now you may be asking yourself, JJ, what does this have to do with anything? Well, my young Padawan, let me try answering that with my own experience. Imagine with me a young high school JJ who was a lot more introverted, a lot more shy, and a lot more closed off. It's my last year of high school. I'm at the final stretch of exams, and I start to hear all these stories from fellow classmates who participated in this weird thing called acrobatics, and they were on the team called the Acronaires. And the said people who were on the team, they were saying that the splits were amazing, that they achieved something called a round off, that people were hitting backflips. That seemed weird to me at the time because I was in the other extreme of saying that, no, how can you think these were impressive? The gym is more impressive. Hitting PRs is more impressive. But nonetheless, my interest was piqued at that point. However, I made the reasonable deduction that I didn't have the time nor the energy to do it because my main goal was to get onto the other side of high school and get my degree from there. Fast forward to my second year of university. That version of me was so tired with going to the gym and doing the same old. My body was aching. My lower back was killing me because of the squats that I was doing, and I was feeling really worn down by life and feeling like I needed some sort of change. Thankfully, I had a friend who let me know that they were holding tryouts. When I heard that the tryouts were open to anyone and they didn't need a previous experience, I was like, bet, this is the opportunity that I was waiting for. My way in. I was still in that mindset that my studies are my first priority. I had church responsibilities. I was the main video guy / camera guy at my church. And I didn't want to give up my therapy time. Yes, my gym training. So as I was wrestling with all that, I decided to take my car and drive all the way down to the location where they were holding the tryouts. So past me really thought that I was a slick person because my plan was as to not disturb the flow of the tryouts. I would park my car a little ways out and I would walk to the building. So I did just that. And the place where they were holding the tryouts, it almost looked like a CrossFit style gym, like a hollow garage. And by this time it was I believe September, mid-September, so it was getting a little bit chilly in the evening, but not too cold. So they had the door down. Now on this garage door, there was a small window, like yay big. Yeah, about big enough that you could peep your eyes through and get a sneak peek. Well, your boy, being the ninja that he is, even though I'm pretty tall, I made myself small and I peeped through that small opening window. And what immediately stood out to me was that there were a bunch of girls there, but also the other fact were there were these giant towering dudes. I mean, compared to me, these guys look like mountains. These guys look like if anything were to go down, if they were to slip, they would crack a rib of yours truly. Yet, despite all that, as I was standing there, seeing all this before me, I remember asking myself, do I want in? In reflecting of the question, do I want in, I was inadvertently coming down to what I now consider just 3 simple conclusions. And by asking, do I want in to myself, I was, 1, making a commitment. I was considering putting my mind, my mouth, and my heart to where my money was. That despite, if I were to go through with this commitment, that regardless of what I said or what others said about the sport, I was going to see it through the end. And it was important for me at that time because it felt like I was just going through life, just living, but not really experiencing. So making that commitment was one of the first times that I was like, oh, I'm serious about this, and I'm going to be serious about it. By asking myself, do I want in, I was opening the doors to keep my eyes open about what the sport had to offer. I was an avid gym goer, gym rat, whatever you want to call it, I was that. I didn't think there was anything better than to lift weights and feel crippled the next day because of the soreness. I was in that gym bro mentality, that body weight, calisthenics, you can really build muscle or have fun when working out. Keeping my eyes open, even though I was hearing a lot of praise, helped a lot when I did eventually get into the tryout and to meet the now community that I consider myself a part of. I met new people, shared a few laughs, and it was a great experience. But I wouldn't have done that if I did not keep my eyes open. By asking myself, do I want in? I was opening the door and allowing myself to see the possibility that if for whatever reason after given it time and energy, that if I didn't feel like it was my thing, then I could back out and bow out without any shame. I think we're living in a time where it's good to try out new things. However, we get in this mode of blindly following other people and then staying in the action out of fear and out of not wanting to make that uncomfortable decision of being like, you know what? No, I'm going to find something else. It could be swimming. It could be soccer. It could be whatever you're interested in. It's uncomfortable to make that choice after there seems to be, after all the initial feelings of excitement are gone, to be like, do I really want to stay committed? Do I really want to see this thing through? Looking back on it, it was such a revelation. I felt such peace in knowing that if I were to give time to this, more than days, mind you, in the months that came up, or even after a year's worth, because I still was going for a 4-year degree, if for whatever point in time I didn't feel like continuing on, then guess what? I'll bow out gracefully. Thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the experience. I'm going to do me and do something else. With no shame. Caveat, I did end up sticking the remaining 2 years because it was a blast of an experience. To recap, before you get on the mat, one of the questions I want you to ask yourself is, do you want in? In asking yourself, do you want in? Opening the door to the conversation of making that commitment, allowing your eyes to be open to learning something new. If things don't work out after you give time to it, you can walk away with no shame. I just want to take a moment to wish you a good day, a good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. You matter.